What's up guys? Today we're going to be checking out A Quiet Place Part 2 on 4K Blu-ray. This isn't a video on how good or bad the movie is, I'll just be sharing some of my thoughts on the video and the audio quality. Now let's go over a few tech specs. The movie was shot in 3.4K and 35mm. It's got a 4K DI. It's rated PG-13. Runtime is 97 minutes and the aspect ratio is 239:1, so there are black letterbox bars. Well, I'd recently reviewed the digital version of the movie, and I thought it was a solid digital transfer overall. The Dolby Atmos mix was just as impressive as the first movie, but lacked a bit of that spatial finesse on the stream. On the physical disc, the audio opens up with a more airy presentation. Looking at the Atmos viewer, let's take a look at the start of the movie. It starts off with some light ambiance with light chatter in the background till the monsters come running into the shot. Most of the effects remain in the lower channels with no yellow objects moving around. This whole sequence is mostly static until the monsters make an appearance on screen. Then you'll see how the objects move around to the different channels. In Chapter 4, you'll hear the alien in the top front speaker move down into the center channel with these pops and clicks echoing in the surround speakers. It's a mixture of ambiance and creepy alien sound effects, which you can see move around the different parts of the room. Listening to this on the 4K disc gives you a bigger sense of space coming from the digital stream. Just like the audio, the video quality follows the same visuals as the first one. This might be a bad thing for the grain haters because there's a layer of grain throughout. Sometimes it's heavy and sometimes it's pretty light. Comparing this to the stream, I found that the grain structure was easier to make out. The digital version would at times look smoother in comparison, so having the higher bitrate does help to retain that filmic quality. Since there is a light to heavy dose of grain, the movie isn't going to be 4K crisp, but you'll still see very detailed close-up shots with the nice nuances, and other times there will be scenes where things are a lot softer and grainier. Shots that take place outside, you may notice the grass and foliage aren't exactly well defined, but again, it does have that organic filmic appearance. I thought the CG aliens were rendered cleanly and meshed well with the live action, but they could at times look a bit too digital. I thought the HDR presentation was pleasant and not overdone with a reserved, warm, earthy color palette. There's no bright, vivid colors or anything that's going to blow you away, but there are some nice specular highlights from lights and the occasional explosion. What I really liked about the first movie was how big and spacious the soundstage was. It was full of natural outdoor ambiance that made your speakers disappear, and you'll get that sensation during the quieter parts of this movie, which so happens to be a good amount. As you can see in the object viewer, there's insects and environmental sounds that float around through the various channels. These quieter moments are much more open sounding in comparison to the digital stream, which did suffer from a touch of compression. Bass response was much heftier coming from the digital stream and did seem to reach a little bit lower, so when things are blowing up, you're gonna feel it in your body. Black levels look fine and were very deep, which gives the image a high contrasty look, but in the darkest parts of the scene, it could crush some detail. And as far as dialogue, I didn't have any issues hearing anyone speaking through the center channel, so no issues there. So for audio, I'm gonna have to give it a 9.9. This is a stellar sounding Atmos mix that's both aggressive and subtle. High channels get a ton of usage and your subs will get a healthy workout. If you need demo material to show how dynamic your sound system is, then this movie needs to be in your collection. For video, I enjoyed the outdoor gritty, grainy look of the first movie, and I enjoyed this one equally as much. If you do hate grain though, then you're probably not going to like it. There's still plenty of detail, and the HDR made for a nice contrasty image with good image depth. So I'm going to have to go with a 9.3. I'd say if you're a fan of the first movie, then you'll probably enjoy the way that Part 2 looks and sounds. Well, those are my thoughts on A Quiet Place Part 2 on 4K Blu-ray. Have you guys seen it, and how do you think it stacks up to Part 1? Leave a comment down below and let us know. Now, if you do want to grab this movie, I'll leave some links for it down below in the video's description. Oh, and if you do want to pick up the Best Buy Steelbook, you can also find a link for it there as well. I'll also be giving away the Steelbook away on my Patreon. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you want, you can follow us on social media, and if you want to get exclusive content or great discounts on audio and video gear, then stop by our Patreon page. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again in the next video.